This week on PopDiskette, Fandubs. Is it fair for a voice actor to be punished for participating in such a community-building activity? From a seemingly massive corporate faux pas to widespread fan outrage, we do a little bit of digging to find out what's going on in the anime voice acting community. Speaking of the anime voice acting community, we have Anime Matsuri, bringing to the table an unlikely team-up with controversial voice actor Vic Mignogna. Together, they've started an all-new dubbing studio to compete with big names in the industry, and they're already making big waves. We also have some exciting news about what's on the horizon for gaming as we head into this year's fourth quarter. In the era of remakes and reboots, we'll find out if the old adage of "if it ain't broke, don't fix it" holds any water. And stay tuned for this week's roundtable discussion about one of pop culture's favorite and arguably most iconic villains. You won't want to miss it.
Rachel here, and this week's anime news is focused on Fandubs. Remember those hilarious takes on sometimes stuffy English dubs? Well, voice actor Anna Lazare Gishi was recently fired from Crunchyroll due to her involvement in the Chainsaw Man fandub. In case you didn't know, Anna is best known for her French dubbing works as Kikyo Kushida in Classroom of the Elite and Iris in Fire Force. Anna solemnly expressed that many voice actors perfect their craft early on, through fandubs or just when jobs are scarce and for extra practice.
So she was just fired from a show that she didn't even voice in, but she was to be an extra. She wasn't in Chainsaw Man.
She only did the fan dub for Chainsaw Man, and then Crunchyroll terminated her contract.
Oh?
Yeah, they just didn't like it. Many fans of the series have expressed outrage, especially over social media platforms such as YouTube and TikTok, and we're hoping this doesn't negatively impact the series' growing popularity.
Seems like a big negative blow to me.
Well, I agree. Welcome back to Ente Easily, everybody. Are you ready to hang with your friendly neighborhood ruler of the underworld? The king himself is finally back for a second season of nice, anti-world conquering suburban living. And so far, it's not disappointing. All your favorite characters are back with the addition of a noteworthy one. Alice Remus, a young girl who's claiming to be the daughter of both Mao and Emiri, and it definitely throws a new twist of humor to the show. It's good to see that the humor hasn't run stale and is able to keep up with the times in pop culture, and it's even more hilarious than the last season. We're excited to see how this spins and for the remainder of the season as it releases going into the fall.
Hey y'all, my name's Larita, and I want to talk about Vic Mignogna. So everyone is familiar with the case against Vic back in 2019 when he had accusations of harassment from several different parties. In fact, when it comes down to the convention scene, reports of him being creepy and inappropriate have circulated in the community since he first started appearing in them in the mid-2000s. Which brings me to a popular convention in Houston, Texas called Anime Matsuri, where as far back as 2018 has also stirred up harassment controversies involving the owner and several women. So what do these two have to do with each other? Well, Vic and Matsuri are stirring up a storm as the two have teamed together to launch a new dubbing studio. Established in November 2021 and officially revealed by Anime Matsuri and Mignogna by a special live stream on July 17th, the new studio has already begun recording content, their first confirmed efforts being the English language dubs of two Nippon animations. That stream also revealed several additional voice actors who took the call to action. The news caused an uproar from Vic detractors that supported his blacklisting from any and everything anime following his being accused of sexual misconduct by fellow voice actors Monica Rell, the current voice of Bulma in the Dragon Ball franchise, and Jamie Marchi, Rias Gremory in High School DxD in 2019. The Outrage Fest was kicked off by Twitter user at Top Tier Dub Clips who nearly immediately after the live stream publicly declared, and I quote, "The idea of Anime Matsuri creating a dubbing studio to dub obscure old anime out of spite that Vic was blacklisted from the industry doesn't surprise me, but I'm appalled and astonished anyone reputable would even want to take part in this," end quote. The list of voice actors are featured on the tweet.
D. Mobius, helping you out with some knowledge. Y'all, I got a little word on some of your video games. We seem to be in the year of remakes and reboots. So, again, if it ain't broke, they probably ain't gonna fix it. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is on this list, huh? It's coming out October 28th. Didn't expect to see that one again. We have Saints Row remake that released on August 23rd on everything: PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series S and X, and Xbox One. They're taking it back to its roots, and it has all the things you love out of Saints Row. Co-op, guns, a nice big new city, guns, tons of customization options for your character and your guns. There is also Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed, the Destroy All Humans 2 remake. It's the successor to the 2020 Destroy All Humans remake that got decent critical reception. When the games originally released back in the day, they were pretty good games, akin to Conker's Bad Fur Day. In my humble opinion, Destroy All Humans has the gameplay, the story, and the humor to keep you playing it for hours. I'm just glad that they're releasing these games for a new generation with the cutscene and graphical updates to match so all of you can enjoy this. And also, the Madden franchise is getting into reboot territory. Kinda, sorta. After having a couple of lackluster seasons, Madden 23 is deciding to take it back to its namesake, Mr. Tough Actin' Tenactin' himself, John Madden. It's got a history mode to tell you the story of players your grandpa and them went to school with, and a little facelift on gameplay. Field Sense TM. Yep, it's new. It kind of looks the same to me, but it's new, and it's giving you more control on the field this year. So go on and check it out. It released on August 19th on literally everything: PC, PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series S, and X. But not the Switch.
Boo.
But yeah, you know who I'm talking to. You gonna get it because you play it every year. So go ahead, pick it up. So some of the noteworthy game releases for the next couple of months, starting in September: JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R releases September 2nd. Lego Brawls for the kiddies, also September 2nd. Biomutant, it's September 6th. Tunic, September 27th. Valkyrie Elysium releases September 29th. In October, we got Overwatch 2 releasing October 4th. No More Heroes 3, October 11th. Dragon Ball The Breakers, October 14th. PGA Tour 2K23, October 14th. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, October 18th. New Tales from the Borderlands, October 21st. Gotham Knights, October 25th. Star Ocean, The Divine Force, for all you RPG heads out there, October 27th. And Resident Evil Reverse, October 28th. And those are the games.
Here with our monthly theme, villains. Our first villain of this month is the infamous Darth Vader. Feared throughout the galaxy as a ruthless, wrathful, and powerful Sith Lord, Darth Vader gained this reputation by having no regard for sentient life and cutting down, literally, anyone that stood in his way. But before that, he was a young boy, a slave, on the planet Tatooine named Anakin Skywalker, whose strength in the Force caught the eye of a Jedi Master, Qui-Gon Jinn. Anakin was then taken from Tatooine to appear in front of the Jedi Council, and it was then decided that he would start his Jedi training. Although the Jedi Order and the Republic were unsure about Anakin becoming a Jedi, Anakin was desperate to make a change in the galaxy and leave his life of slavery behind. Unfortunately, when this decision was made, his mother, who was also a slave, was left on Tatooine. This was hard for Anakin to cope with because the bond he had with his mother was the only one he valued at that time. When he returned to Tatooine to find that his mother had passed, he was heartbroken. After his mother's death, as an adolescent teenager, Anakin's emotions became erratic and his actions became more impulsive. Being deemed the chosen one, Anakin felt as if he should have more say in how the Republic and Jedi Order handle issues that arose in the galaxy. At this point, Anakin's conflicting views on the Republic and Jedi were also giving him nightmares about his mother's death, causing him to believe it was his fault. This guilt he would still carry with him into adulthood. Emperor Palpatine, who also met Anakin as a young boy, saw potential in him to carry out the Sith Order's plan. So while he was being trained by the Jedi to control his emotions, Palpatine was teaching Anakin to harness his anger and negative feelings to grow stronger in the Force. Which worked, but confused him further in deciding which side he was to fight on, even after he fell in love with the Queen Padme Amidala. They met when Anakin was just a boy, but as time progressed, they fell in love with each other and grew together as a secret couple. Since Jedi weren't allowed to have relationships or families, Anakin had to hide away yet another part of himself. This led to more anger and confusion, which led to desperation to save the people he cared about, especially Padme. One night, Anakin had a premonition of Padme dying, and he feared losing her. So he went to Master Yoda to ask what he should do about this fear of losing someone he loved. Yoda had this to say, quote, "The fear of loss is a path to the dark side. Death is a natural part of life. Rejoice for those around you who transform into the Force. Mourn them do not," unquote. Even though Yoda meant well, these words did not sit well with Anakin. So he went to Palpatine, and he basically told him to trust his feelings and to save his beloved and his unborn children, he must grow stronger. Palpatine further convinced Anakin to kill the Jedi younglings due to Order 66, initiated by Palpatine in order to bring peace across the galaxy. Jedi were to be executed without question. Anakin also killed Palpatine's Sith Master, Count Dooku, as it would greatly benefit him in prolonging his wrath by facing the Sith Lord who took his arm. Leaving him alive, only further embarrassing him, Anakin's anger only grew and fueled the fire he needed to destroy his rival and lessen the threat on his beloved's life. The fight on Mustafar between Anakin and his old friend and Jedi mentor Obi-Wan Kenobi was legendary. Obi-Wan still cared for Anakin and refused to allow him to plunge himself further into darkness, but Anakin wasn't trying to hear that. Fighting over the lava and trying not to get burned, mind you, Obi-Wan had the high ground due to his height advantage. Vader did not block Obi-Wan's final blow using a maneuver that severed his limbs. A limbless, sad, and very angry shell of his former self was left to die. Whatever compassion he had was gone, and all that was left was anger and pure hatred, which would follow him throughout the rest of his miserable life. Oh yes, he lives. Palpatine couldn't do without his Sith Lord puppet, so using cybernetics and a breathing apparatus, Darth Vader was able to survive. His pregnant wife, however, had seen what her beloved had become, and after giving birth to the twins, Luke and Leia Skywalker, died of a broken heart. That's what it says. Died of a broken heart. Darth Vader, learning of her death, believing that he had caused it, began to lose whatever other emotion he had left and was consumed by hatred and evil.
So what makes Darth Vader a good villain?
Definitely his influence. Like everybody, even if you are an anti-Star Wars fan, you know who Darth Vader is. You don't got to know nobody else in the series, but you know who Darth Vader is.
Yeah.
They've even made rip-off versions of him. Like Zurg in Toy Story.
Oh, yeah. And he's a good leader because he got asthma.
Good leaders have asthma.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why?
Okay.
Name some other good leaders with asthma.
Darth Vader.
No.
No, that ain't working.
Name 3 quickly.
Well, after breathing ash and all that lava.
Oh, so it's
heat.
not asthma, it's ashma.
Exactly.
I hate you!
That's when he got it in the lava fight.
How long, in I guess terms of like Star Wars time frame, how long had he been a villain? Like how many years was he a villain? I know Star Wars been running forever.
I don't know. So do you guys count killing children? Yeah, killing children is like a no. So I'd say he became a villain.
So.
Yes.
Count
I
killing
don't know.
children.
What the kids do?
The kids were just there. Listen, they were unarmed.
They dared to exist.
They were unarmed. They were just
a grave mistake.
Jedi Padawans, young children like he was at one point, and they stood there and looked at him. They were like, "Oh, it's Anakin," and then he pulled out his lightsaber and was like, and they were like, "Oh, it's Anakin." Yeah, that happened.
Oh.
They had to be killed because they were enemies, basically. But it was all Palpatine's plan to get rid of the Jedi so the dark side could just rule over the entire galaxy.
They couldn't combine their Padawan child powers together. And
I don't think that's how that works.
Children? No. He mowed them down, I'm sure.
So had he been the villain for like hundreds of years, or was it just like
he was like
damn, man.
Technically he's still human, so not
could be
hundreds of years.
Yeah,
Or
but
humanoid.
yeah,
whatever you wanna
human-ish.
call it.
I mean, he probably lived longer.
He's human shaped.
Until
like how long had he been trying to rule the galaxy?
Well, he stopped because after his fight with Obi-Wan, he wasn't as powerful as Palpatine was, because in the Sith order, if you kill your master, that's like the rite of passage to gain more power.
That grants you the ultimate power.
Yes. And so Darth Vader killed Count Dooku, who was his name.
And he was the successor for Count Dooku.
So no, he had not learned anything from Count Dooku, but Palpatine had. So Palpatine had him kill Count Dooku for him because he was like, "Hey, he cut off your arm and he's trying to kill your wife. Kill him."
Yeah,
so
that's
he
okay.
did. Yeah, he didn't. He just wanted to give him the okay to do that, so he did.
Every time y'all say Count Dooku, I thought y'all finna say Count Dracula, and I thought about that cereal.
Count Chocula?
Chocula's the cereal.
It's okay.
No.
Count Dooku was doo-doo.
He was.
Yeah.
He was terrible. He was
So
ugly.
the student killed the master, so masters take on students, know the student gotta kill them.
Yes.
That's why I'm teaching.
Exactly.
You teach him for the end.
But Palpatine didn't want that to happen, so he wanted to become. He couldn't overthrow him himself, but as soon as Darth Vader was at a point where he could overthrow Count Dooku, he told him to do it, and then Palpatine got all the power basically. Anakin probably got like 25% of it, and then Palpatine got
The real answer is because of the master-student trope that's in all media.
yeah.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure throughout the Star Wars universe, not every Sith defeated their master.
Yeah. There were some that probably, couldn't cut it.
They master fucked them up. You weren't worth it.
Couldn't graduate.
Not even that they couldn't, but probably just because it never crossed their mind to do so.
Maybe.
Just because they sided with that group of people doesn't mean that they all share the exact same values.
Okay. So,
Yeah, that makes sense.
okay, to graduate the third grade, you gotta kill your third grade teacher.
Wow. That would
Well, I
That's,
mean-
that's what they're doing.
Well,
That's what they're doing.
That's extra dark.
That's if you, as a third grader, wants to take over the elementary school.
assassination classes.
Yeah. And no,
No.
but mostly yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, no, but yeah, but yes. So.
They're different. Then they gonna destroy the whole Earth.
He did. He actually destroyed an entire planet, Naboo. So, yeah, that was Naboo, right? Yeah.
That's the underwater.
Oh no, it wasn't Naboo. It was what's Leia's planet?
Leatron.
Planet Megatron?
You are going to have them kill us all. You playing around with Star Wars.
I know.
It's okay. It's fine. I know you're just joking.
We're gonna die.
Fun and
Luckily, we
games.
don't take callers.
All fun and games. It's okay.
Bring it on. Bring your lightsabers.
We'll just abandon that plot point
Okay, go ahead.
because you can't.
I can't. Alderaan. Darn it.
Alderaan.
Alderaan. I was like, Naboo, no, that's Alderaan. So yeah, he destroyed her entire planet. Her entire planet is just dust.
Yeah, he destroyed like his daughter's whole planet.
Yes, but he didn't know that was his daughter at the time.
Oh.
Cause he just heard about Luke and after like years of being cold and ruthless, he was like, oh, I finally have a son. Like I have someone I could share my suffering and my pain with. So let me go find him, turn him over to the dark side, and we can be gravy.
We can be dark together.
Yes.
Misery really does look
like
kind
a freezer. Ugh. He got threatened and then just destroyed the planet.
Well, he destroyed the planet in order to, because Leia had took the plans to the Death Star, and he was like, "Where are the plans at?" And she was like, "No." And he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna explode your planet." And she was like, "No, you won't." And then he did, and she was like, "Wow." And he made her watch, so she's like, "Yeah, everyone you ever loved, gone, just like that."
Okay.
So.
I wonder if they had some grandkids on there.
Probably not. No, Leia was not. She hadn't had kids yet. So, because she hadn't met Han Solo, who became her husband.
No, the whole I love you, I know.
Yeah, that whole thing. No, Jabba the Hutt thing, which was terrible. But she was very empowering. Sorry, we're getting off topic, aren't we?
Well, that is all the time we have for this week. We hope you guys will join us next week for another great episode. Thanks for tuning in.